what we got to do here is to convert. And I'm putting this as a level 1 skill, but it's part of the harder level 2 problems. The issue is that you're not allowed to put a radical in the denominator of a number. That's just the way numbers are written. We would never write 1 divided by the square root of 3 and call it a final answer. So what we've got to do is get rid of it. It's actually very simple to figure out what to do. You take whatever you have in your denominator and you multiply the numerator and the denominator both by that. So what's the denominator on this number?
3.
No, square root of 3. You must say square root of 3. It's not 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our original number here, 1 over the square root of 3, what we're going to multiply by the square root of 3 on the bottom and the square root of 3 on top. If you multiply the top and the bottom by the same thing, does it change the value? No, right? So you can expand and reduce fractions like that anytime you want. So what's 1 times the square root of 3?
Square root of 3.
The square root of 3, right? And what is the square root of 3 times the square root of 3? It's the square root of 9, right? But what's the square root of 9? 3. It's not the square root of 3. It's 3. So the answer is the square root of 3 over 3. Okay, so let's go back to this. Are we allowed to have a radical in the denominator? No. So what we do is we have to multiply numerator and denominator both by that radical, right? Okay, so we take the original number, we multiply by the square root of 3 on top and on bottom. 1 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 3. The square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 9. And what's the square root of 9? 3.
No, porque square root of 9
The square root of 9 is just regular number 3, which is what we like, because we want a regular number, not a radical down there. Is that good? Okay, that's important. Now let's move on this one. We've got a radical in the denominator. Do we want that radical to be there?
No.
No. So what we're going to do is rewrite. Dan, are you ready? Okay. So it's 2 over the square root of 2. What am I going to multiply by top and bottom here? Say the right thing, be sure. Square root of 2. Okay, so times the square root of 2 and times the square root of 2. It gets 2 square root of 2 over 2. Can I reduce this?
Yes.
See, I have a 2 in the numerator and a 2 in the denominator. Can I reduce it?
Yes.
Yep. So the final answer is just square root of 2. Cool. Pay attention. I took the original. I multiplied by the same number to get rid of the denominator, right? That got me 2 square root of 2 on the top, and it got me 2 on the bottom. Because anytime you multiply a square root by itself, you get the number that was inside it. Right? And then the 2 on top and the 2 on bottom reduce out, leaving the square root of 2 as your only answer. Is that clear? Cool. Okay, guys. So to be sure that we're getting this, I want you to talk me through this one. What am I going to multiply by?
Square root of 3.
So it's going to be 5 over the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 times the square root of 3. That equals 5 square root of 3 over what? 3. Are you guys getting used to that pattern there?
Yeah.
Can I reduce anything here?
No.
This is it then. This is what the answer would look like. Is that clear?
If the top is a top number on the outside, if it's even, it's even and good.
Well, if you can reduce it, you reduce it. If you can't reduce it, you leave it like that.
So that's the answer?
That's it. That's what we got.